So now that we are kind of past the beginning stages of knowing what to kind of prepare for, so I'm gonna give a quick rundown. I'm gonna pretend I'm kind of new to this. I've decided that I maybe have a friend or know of people who are on a spiritual path, and I want to do this on my own. And I've kind of already started a journal, and it kind of delineates all the different things that I might find as challenges, some of the pitfalls I'm going to kind of try to sidestep, and then some of the supports that I have in place. Now, I'm going to want to understand what rituals do I want to kind of think about wanting to engage in before I delve into any particular tradition, like what comes to mind. So sometimes prayer is the first thing. And what is prayer? Like, I'm curious to know what people understand prayer to be. Some might suggest that it's a formal way of there's like a beginning, a middle, and an end. So there's like a formal structure to engaging in a practice called prayer. Some will call it kind of like a quiet call for help, um, and that's basically the extent of what I want to kind of describe prayer as. So it's not anything that's going to be um, outside of what a person may try to understand as it's something inside of me that's stuck and it's looking for assistance, right? So that's basically all it is. Um, People will sometimes say, well, when you're praying, it doesn't help you. You're just talking to yourself. And to my mind, it's why not? Like, we know that talk therapy is therapeutic. Just having a friend to talk to is its own therapy. Journaling is its own therapy. Um, so if we add to that prayer, it's just basically finding words that kind of are soothing, or that almost put to words the anxiety that we're feeling. And then just that process almost helps us think, or our mind prepares itself for, if this is my anxiety and I'm able to put words to it, um, what is it that I can do to alleviate the anxiety? So, for example, there's a period of time where it was difficult for me to kind of have any income. And my immediate response was, I need to know what sustainable income I can kind of engage with, because maybe the jobs that I had in the past were not healthy for me spiritually, which is why I've always struggled financially. So that's always been my kind of fallback with prayer, is it's always help me find a sustainable income that's actually going to be benefit for me and for my spiritual path. Um, One of the things that I really like about traditions is that there's usually booklets and pamphlets that help us um, almost start to think about ways and words to kind of align with a prayer. So things that wouldn't even come to mind that you'd want to pray for, because um, they're almost, they were prayers that prophets in the past used to kind of invocate with. Um, but also, just using those words almost brings a kind of calm to you, because it's almost like it's already prepared for me. I just have to think in these terms, and I almost feel like they're just going to come to fruition. I just have to be patient. So one of the companions of the prophet used to say, I don't worry that my prayer will be accepted. I worry that I fail to pray. So it's almost like, as long as I have that kind of connection, that I'm constantly working towards some kind of optimistic outlook that I'm going to look forward to, it almost creates a positive affect for you that's kind of hopeful. So just, I'm going to keep this one short. So just use that as prayer. And prayer can be something like worship. Like, I just want to read scripture and meditate on those verses. It could be, on my way to work, I just want to contemplate a few meanings. Or some people have litanies that they repeat that kind of itself is like a soothing sound, or that its meaning just kind of has an effect on your soul or on your spirit. Um, Yoga is one that's kind of like certain breathing practices that help I think the flow of energy through your body, and just that. So prayer can never really leave you, because there's not, some people dedicate a space for prayer or a time for prayer, um, but at any point of time it can just be a quiet dialogue within yourself. Like sometimes when I, I used to, when I was in university, I would do that like before writing an exam. um, Sending prayer on the prophet is known to kind of bring down mercy and calm. So I would do that. And why not? Like there's nothing to lose from having these, some people call them self-fulfilling prophecies, and I always come back to that. But it's true. Like why have something that people have tried before that has an effect and shy away from it? It's different from pseudoscience, as I mentioned, and I allow myself to kind of qualify everything I say with both sides of the story, so that I don't feel like I'm promoting anything like overly top heavy, and keeping it kind of like a postmodern approach where, you know what, take it for what you want it to be in your life, and it will materialize. And just try to keep it kind of like a consistent practice, and take your time with seeing results. So oftentimes the pitfall to a spiritual path is that we have all this energy and this, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it all at once, and it's like a marathon, right? You have this burst of energy, but you know that it's a short space, and then that's it. Doing that is okay, because then you can kind of allow yourself the break and say, wow, um, what did I learn from this, and how did I come on too fast, for example? And then if you want to try it again and say, okay, well, maybe I tried all of these and this is the one I'm more comfortable with. So then it becomes kind of like a segmented long-term practice. And then eventually it can become a habit, and it becomes something that you want to kind of institute in your life as just like a daily norm. And that's it. You'll find that without it, you'll miss it. Like I know that there's just situations in my life where I've had gaps in time where I didn't pray, and coming back to it was almost like I wish that I could almost bottle this feeling up and convey the reassurance that it brings, because it is like a completely different realm that your state of mind goes into, and it does have a calming effect on your soul. So give it a try, and I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts.